Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another ShareWise webinar. I'm very excited here today to bring Neil, the Executive Director of Taiton Resources, T88. I know he's excited. I just want to thank Neil for coming out of his busy schedule to do a little bit of a presentation, a little bit of an interactive Q&A session as well for shareholders and anyone interested in the business. Like I said, my name is Harry McCaskill, one of the senior advisors here at ShareWise. And again, Neil, I'll let you sort of introduce yourself and I'll let you take it away.
All right. Thank you, Harry. Thanks for the opportunity. I guess Taiton is just over 18 months old. We're basically an explorer. We've looking at projects in South Australia, WA, and recently we picked up a high purity quartz plate in New South Wales. So personally, I'm a geo, graduated in 92. So, just over 3 decades of standing out in the sun and with work and out of work. Our cycle is up and down. But yeah, today we're basically just I'm going to be trying to give you guys an overview of what we're about. We're one of the very few explorers out there. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, I'll tell you if it comes through. Just click share, and then it should come across. Now, if anyone has any questions that pop to the front of their, forefront during the presentation, drop it in the Q&A section or in the chat section, and we'll go through a few so you can have a little bit, like I said, a one-on-one with Noel. Should be good. Excellent. That's just come through there. I can see that. That's perfect.
Okay. You got the front page, I guess?
Yeah, excellent. Perfect.
All right. I'll keep it nice and short and sweet. Prefer to have lots of questions at the end. That is a photo of a 20-meter wide quartz vein we discovered in the Challenger West project. Kind of shows why we are excited. I'll go through the reasons why, and this will be one of them. Obviously, drilling for gold in South Australia. We're hoping to find the next Challenger gold mine in the Koala since about two and a half decades since Challenger was discovered. So on to it. So our projects, we listed with the Highway project and the Challenger West project in South Australia, as well as the Lake Barlee project in WA. As you can see, we picked up extra ground in Challenger West. Now we have just under 2,000 square kilometers looking for gold, obviously in that region of Challenger gold mine. Highway project is just under 3,000 square kilometers. But the whole concept of Highway and in some ways Challenger is really looking for that provincial mineral system tenure, that mineral system looking to find mineralization. I do believe this part of South Australia is probably one of the very few, if not the last two regions that I can think of in Australia that hasn't had a lot of exploration and hence given a lot of upside. So Highway, multi-commodity prospectivity, porphyry, geology, epithermal, and now looking at likely IOCG targets as well. And as I mentioned before, the Kingsgate project in New South Wales, it's a high purity quartz play. It's renowned for its quartz quality in the Second World War. I'll go through that a little bit later. And Lake Barlee is also gold and a bit of rare earth, but the goal is chasing a conceptual model as well. So effectively Challenger West, we're approximately 20 to 40 meters, 40 kilometers away west of Challenger gold mine. As you can see the tenure there, the patch in green is something we picked up just after we got the results back from Area 1, as you can see there. So we basically, we reinterpret the existing geophysical imagery and helped us direct our exploration, which I'll be showing you is consistent with what we are seeing that's coming out of the geophysics. It's a renowned area that really had probably two and a half decades of not much exploration since Challenger. So At this point in time, we got excited to say that we got drill ready targets just awaiting your typical administration things like heritage and site clearances. And this is what is exciting for us. If you look at the diagram on the left, you can see where our prospects are mentioned in area 1, 2, 3. It sits in that margin of what is a gravity image, and you can see where Challenger is. Challenger sits in that area as well. And most of these other projects here that's helped by Momota now, Campfire Bore, Mainwood, Greenwood, Golf Bore, those kind of stuff. They're all, I think they're about 20 to 30,000 ounces of gold that they've come out from oxides as well as some primary stuff. So, this is what we're chasing. And as you see to the right, that's the geophysics that we've had, showing really clear structure alignments. And this is quite widespread all through the area. And you can see this part of here is the new tenement we picked up. And in area 1, we've done ultrafine soil samples. And you can see clearly these structures that are coming out from the geophysics. And as I said, coincident geochemistry structures is what is exciting us. We went out, we did one phase of ultrafine soil samples. We picked up a small patch of high, I think the highest was about 29.6 parts per billion. And we felt that, it was exciting in the sense that it was coming up along and coincident with these structures that we've interpreted. We went out there and did an infill survey, ultrafine soil survey over the area, and it's picked up a lot more highs along that trend as well, this northeast trend. And if you compare that to a picture of what was in the Challenger, you can see the dark patch is where Challenger was, and you can see the orientation of these structures are going northeast in that direction. And one of the important things here to note here is that the tenure, the strength of the samples so Challenger outcropped in a small part of that area there, and you can see in that section there, they were getting golds in greater than 100 ppb. But as soon as you step away from that, as the structure sort of deepens in some ways, you start seeing 10 to 100 and 5 to 10 ppb, which is really similar to what we're seeing. So, and the exciting part again, I refer back is that it's coincident with structure, and that is something that we're excited about. So, in my opinion, understanding the controlling mineralizing factors in the region is the key to success here. Structure and the geochemistry. In this second phase of sampling, what we discovered was not only were the gold values a lot bigger, not only the gold values were more consistent and coherent, pathfinder minerals were actually very strong. And on the picture on the left, you can see some of this sulfur values as high as 12.1%. And so you can see the bigger bottom layer here is much bigger. So it's really, really consistent. What does that mean? What does the sulfur mean? Well, it's most likely interpreted to come from sulfide. So again, you can see those whitish area is where there's a lot of quartz float as well. So when we went out there and we walked around and looked at all those targets, what we started to see was lots of quartz float. As I mentioned, that 20-meter quartz vein. And we're starting to see some strong shearing fabric in the rocks, again, in that northeast trending structure. So that gave us the confidence to say, look, we need to do a bit more work and did the infill. And lo and behold, those numbers started to pop out, as you can see on the screen. And I just try and give a comparison to Challenger on the right-hand side, although they did calcrete sampling, but the sulfur values were very high too, where it was outcropping. So again, it's ticking boxes here. It's not saying that X marks the spot and we'll find the next Challenger. It's ticking the boxes, and the X marks the spot to say, hey, we should be drilling here. because I think there's something extraordinary happening underneath. Quickly going to the highway projects, obviously challenges taking a bit of the focus because of the excitement and where we can go with that. We in our last announcement, we said that we stepped back, did a gravity survey on the Pluto area, Pluto project in Garfield. And as I said before, when we started this conversation, look, highway is kind of a polymetallic play. It's a mineral province. It's a mineral cooking system that I envisaged when we listed. And the potential was, we started with a porphyry molybdenum story, and we started seeing epithermal textures, and then IOCG. And the gravities, we're working through that at this point in time. And as soon as we get some sort of idea what's happening with those survey, we'll come back to the market. But as you can see, one of the things is, it's in that IOCG province. We talked about how, when we started, we've done zircon testing and the rocks look at the same H event as the, Olympic Dam province. So it's one of the areas that people have overlooked in past, but, the understanding wasn't there. And that was the concept of what Taiton was when we picked up these projects. Going to Kingsgate, which is in Glen Innes, in New South Wales. We got 2 tenements there, and it is an area of high purity quartz, and there's actually high grade molybdenum. But the quartz is where we think there's a market there. For those who understand high purity quartz business, it is a very, very high value sector. It's, a good product can go up to $50,000 a ton, up to $2,000 a ton. So we're in the process of getting access to the properties. We should be getting that soon. So as soon as we do that, we'll go in there and we'll start looking at this. So Kingsgate has a history of the quartz. It was in World War II, as I mentioned before, the piezoelectric quartz was used for these radio equipments. They were mined, as you can see, in 1989 semiconductors. So the quality quartz is known to be high. The question for us is, how high it is before we start putting news on the market. That's our next step. So they all occur in this quartz pipe that you can see. There's about 94 of them in this immediate area. And basically breccia pipes. So you're basically walking there. So the actual pipe itself goes as wide as 20 meters. But effectively, we're talking a low scale underground kind of, mining concepts that we have. These high purity quartz, obviously, if they are existing there, is of high value. And so we won't need a lot of tonnage in the sense of getting what the monetary component is. So, yep, that's our next project on tap. But again, we'll come to the market with that.
Just to jump in there, Noel, obviously you've got some really, really good looking projects at Highway and your Kingsgate projects. What are the intentions moving forward now that you do have something very, very exciting there with obviously the Challenger West project?
Look, it's taking us, 18 months, about $4.5 million of spend to get to where we are now. So we're moving on, as I said, so the challenges, the drill ready, we're going there. Highway, we've got a few things to iron out with the gravity survey and to identify some of these targets. And Kingsgate obviously is getting land access and then walking in there and start collecting samples and then having a clearer picture of what we're actually playing with. We know it is high quality, we know it's high purity, but what number it is, that's the next step. So in terms of trying to get an answer to you, those are the flow of news and timing. And it is now where we start to get the real value, to release some of this real value for the projects.
So it's just ticking away very, very, little day by day at each project and just hitting those little milestones. I guess people like forward-looking businesses. If you were to go, a year, 2 years down the track, where do you see, each one of these projects, and which one do you see being the biggest? Do you see the gold side of things, obviously with the new project that's come along, and or do you still see it with the 2 current projects that you started out originally with?
Look, when we started Taiton, we weren't, I guess the word used is agnostic of what we want to do. But the key was that we want to build a mineral resource system where high value projects. We don't want to talk about postage stamp kind of projects, and hence that was the concept. So look, the way it's turned out, Highway was the focus, and then Challenger kind of popped his head out when we started getting these results in, and now it's looking like much bigger than what we had envisaged it for.
Yeah.
So the next step for it is obviously trying to monetize this. And look, Highway's the next thing we could drill, and I'm being realistic. You know, we're going to hit or we're not going to hit. There's still that potential. There's no guarantees in that side of things.
Yep.
But the value released from a decent gold project. Look, there's a gold mine next to us with a plan, and they're ready to talk to us if we did find something. So we don't need to find, say, 1 million ounce to make that work. If we got 200,000, you know, I'm talking in theories here.
Yeah.
200,000, we could actually monetize that with our discussion next door, who has a plant that's in care and maintenance, right? So we could actually get that to happen much sooner. We're not isolated like a lot of projects out there in the marketplace.
Excellent. So,
yeah,
I was just going to say a little bit of a competitive edge there. You've got that ability.
Correct. And look, and Highway, you know, we name Highway because literally it's right next to the highway. You know, the Stewart Highway that goes up to Darwin, back to Adelaide, where we're about 4 or 5 kilometers in some of our tenements, even less to the actual highway itself. Right. So ISCG targets, we all know. I mean, that's the creme de la creme. If it's there, you know, the opportunities is endless. Sure, it's going to be a bit costly, a bit more riskier, but in some ways that's the name of the game. But that's why we picked that area, because we felt that had a big mineral system that everyone didn't see. So we went through the steps to prove our concept. So I think we're at that stage where we've proven most of our concepts that it is cooking and is mineralizing. And hopefully, when the gravity surveys get interpreted, analyzed, modeled, we can say a bit more with substance.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff there. We've just had a question come through from someone who was anonymous, but it's, I was sort of wondering the same thing as well. But if you were to find gold at Challenger West, would you consider gold sale or a joint venture with Challenger Mine?
Look, I get that asked very, very often. I guess the end of the day is that it's either going to be a fork in the road. I call it the fork in the road. And whatever value comes to us, and that's where we would take. Now, if we said, look, the guy offers you a figure to do this, to JV, why not? We can't do it alone, and reduces the risk for the rest of the projects for the company. So there's nothing out of the question. We will pick the most economical and what works best for us, obviously. And to make it work, obviously, we need to see what the other party. If they win and we win, then we all win.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes a good deal, good partnership, a win-win situation.
That's right. Yep.
And we just got another one pop through really quickly, just sent as well. What other minerals, materials are at Challenger West? Is it sulfur? And, if so, what other ones?
Look, one of the key things when we went out there and we put that out in the announcement was that there was a lot of iron, right? There's probably a strike length of a kilometer plus, not continuous, but we saw a lot of iron on the surface, a lot of floats, and some you might even stretch and say subcrop, but they were going 54% iron, 45% iron. We actually thought there might be a biff there, but at the end of the day, look, gold is the key out there. Who knows what else is there, but I think the focus is on gold. I don't think we're thinking any further than gold. I'll settle for 500,000 ounces of gold. So look, it's probably too early at this stage to say what other minerals are there other than gold. So I hope that answers the question.
Excellent. I think that's probably going straight to the point. So, is there any other slides you want to go through on the presentation?
No, basically this one finishes off just where the news flow for 2024 will come from, and we pretty much covered that in some ways.
Yeah.
We got an infill to soils at area 1 to go. While we're waiting for the heritage and the drilling to happen, we're going to do that. That helps us define some of the targets. But the samples that you see as it is now at Challenger pretty much would get us confidence to drill at least those 3 targets. And the gap that you see in between is the other infill we're thinking of. But irrespective of that, if we got the rig there, we'll put a couple lines in there and test that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this area is of great interest to us here as well. So that's where the 20-meter outcropping quartz vein is. But look, I mean, that's effectively the news flow going forward. Drill Challenger West, get the interpretation for the potential ISCG sorted out. That will be the next one. And then I've mentioned it already, being on ground at Kingsgate, getting our quartz samples analyzed, looked at, because the HPQ one is a very interesting project, because if it exists as the market that we hope it to be, it's a big market for us, because the market, the quality of quartz, most people who understand HPQ will know that these kind of projects are not oftenly found, but the market itself is growing, so the demand's going to be there. We just need to make sure we have what we hope we want to have,
which is always the hard part.
Correct. I mean, it's you can't say those things without facts.
Exactly. I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot of confidence, right? Obviously, you're taking on that next stage of exploration to drill test it at Challenger West. What was the sort of key indication that you were like, you and the team were thinking, let's start this drill testing? Were there certain key milestones, or is it more of a sort of gut feel, and obviously the readings behind it? What was the main catalyst for that?
So I'm assuming you're referring to Challenger West, and
yes, correct.
It is basically this here that you're looking at. You're looking at effectively the reasons why the confidence. It started off, one box ticking. Hey, we got some anomalous samples along coincident with these structures. We went onto the ground, had looked at the ground, and we started seeing quartz float everywhere. We're seeing this strong iron. We're seeing very strong fabric, strong structural fabric on the ground. You kind of say, well, yeah, we should do more sampling, which we did. And then these bigger numbers started popping up. That was pretty much, those boxes tick. And we said, yep, I think this is a drill target that requires.
Are you, I guess, in regards to the drilling, the drill testing at Challenger West, is that going ahead quicker than you first anticipated, or are you running on time, or are you running a little bit behind schedule? Obviously, that's something a lot of shareholders look at in this sort of industry. Is it on schedule, would you say?
Look, it's faster than scheduled in terms of where we thought we would be, in terms of a drill ready target with such confidence.
Yep.
And the next step will be getting the heritage and obviously clearing these sites.
Yep.
So that's a matter of timing. We would like to be there when it's not in the middle of summer. So that's kind of like in process now. We're putting the applications to the mines department for what they call EPIRB application. So West Australian version of POW, and then we'll get the heritage sorted out at the same time. So look, fingers crossed, 6 weeks we'll be on the ground drilling.
Yep.
Fingers crossed, it's never a finite, timing in this game. So
of course. Are there anyone watching? Is there any more questions coming through? Don't forget to put them through. I had another question on my end, and it's probably one that obviously shareholders are always curious about with early stage mining projects, is capital, right? Obviously capital raisings, those sort of things. What's the outlook on the capital raise, or is there anything in terms of balance sheets that needs clearing up?
Look, capital raising is tough. We're in the process of doing that now. We're actually very close in discussion, but in saying that, there is a reason why there's a saying called "and there too, the money's in the bank." So we are well aware, acutely aware what cash we need. We're out there talking to cornerstone guys as well as on the retail side, but we'll sort of share that with the market a bit when we get closer in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're out there. I mean, the market's tight, but look, I think the market's tight for projects in general. But if you can put a good case across, investors tend to back that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think there's no more questions coming through. Again, no, I just want to thank you for your time. Obviously, you're a busy man. You've got things to do, so it's we do appreciate it here at ShareWise. Taking your time and doing a little bit of a presentation and a Q&A. Is there any sort of last words that you want to put out there to any shareholders that are looking to invest, and any last points you want to make?
Look, absolutely. I think Taiton now is at a point where we feel we are at the value creating part of it. It's taken a while for us to build the base. As you can see, it's taken a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of no news on the market. But look, I think at the end of the day, me being an explorationist, me being hopeful for discovery, and that's the only reason why we're doing this, to make a discovery. We're probably at the best time for people to start looking at. We've got real numbers, real facts.
Yep.
Come and help and share the journey and follow us, and hopefully earn a bit of money.
Sounds very, very exciting. And again, everyone, this is going to be recorded and it will be put on our YouTube channel. So if there's anything you missed at the start or throughout, just feel free to jump on that website, our website, or Noel will have access to this. I'm sure he'll put that out there as well, and you'll have access to that. But again, Noel, thank you for your time, and everyone, stay tuned for more webinars to come.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Harry.
Thanks, Noel. Bye.